You see a lot of car reviews for like posh cars, fancy cars, everything, but you never see anyone doing reviews of normal, run-of-the-mill, cheapy cars. So today, I'm going to break the mould. I'm going to review a 9N Volkswagen Polo. Let's do it. So, this is a 9N Volkswagen Polo. It is the one with the round headlights. And they only made the one with the round headlights for a few years. I don't know why, because to me, it looks a lot better than the 9N3 or whatever it's called. And I'll tell you what, after owning many cars, from supercars to shitboxes, these are very underrated little cars. I mean, it's quite big for a little car. There's a lot of space inside, and it actually feels like a Golf used to feel, like an old school Golf. And for a 1.4, it goes perfectly adequately. It's a lovely little engine. This one's only done 86,525 miles at the moment, and it's lovely. It's had loads of cam belt changes. It's been really well looked after. I don't know why people have to go for the fancy, like, supercars. I've been there and done that and this, that and the other, and wanted to have them and own them, but the thing is, they all do the same thing, don't they? They all do the same job. They all go from A to B, and most of the time you can only do 30 mile an hour or 40 mile an hour or whatever the speed limit is. And yes, this car looks awful. It's covered in dinks, scratches, dents, but you can't buy anything with MOT and that for less than £1,000 now. And to be honest, I'd rather have something reliable than, you know, something that looks good. So, you know, you might want to go for like a really high mileage car that looks fantastic, but it could break down. You know, the electrics could go on it, whatever. It's, you know, but I think the key to buying second-hand cars is to go for well-maintained cars that genuinely haven't got too much mileage on, because there are people say, well, that engine's fine because it's only done 150,000 and they're good for $250,000. But you've got to think of the gearboxes, you've got to think of the running gear, you've got to think of the brakes, you've got to think of everything, the back axles, the fucking front axles if they're four-wheel drive, you know. So yeah, mileage isn't necessarily an issue on some cars, but it is an issue on everything, because everything has a shelf life. Eventually something's going to go, so the least mileage you can get, the better really, in my eyes. And I find selling cars with over 100,000 miles on is more difficult than selling something under 100,000 miles, because people just like a little bit less mileage, and I can't blame them, because at the end of the day, a little bit less mileage, it means a little bit more life most of the time. Not all of the time, but most of the time. So these little Polos though, I've had one before and broken it, just broke it into bits, because it was a manual and I couldn't drive it, and it was a bit shitty, and I kind of wish I hadn't now, because this is such a nice little car. It drives lovely. Yeah, so I wish I'd sort of done that up and sold it rather than broke it into bits. I only broke it because my nephew had a Volkswagen Fox, and we took the engine out for it and broke it up. But I think he should have kept the Polo, to be fair. Yeah, so very nice little cars. Work really well on the motorway. Yeah, just like doesn't feel like a small sort of city car at all. It keeps up with modern traffic and goes really well. The tax is expensive on it. I don't know why. It's only 1.4. The manuals are 185 quid. The automatics are 290. Makes no sense to me. It's all done on emissions, but it doesn't seem to use a lot of fuel. So surely, if it's a gas guzzler and it's got high emissions, it should be using a lot of fuel. I don't know how the fuck they work it out anyway, but it's all bullshit to me. But yeah, this is a lovely little car. It's got a lovely smooth little gearbox. Yeah, so don't be fooled always by something that looks shit. It can look shit and still be very, very good and do a good turn. So I think if you're thinking of buying a second-hand car, don't be frightened of a few dents and scratches, because it's far better to have something that's reliable than something that looks good. Definitely, in my opinion anyway. And like, I'd rather be fucking going along in a shitbox than stood by the side of the road with a fancy looking car, to be honest, that's broken down and that's going to cost a fortune to repair. So yeah, I just thought I'd do a little review of this Polo, and I'm really impressed with it. There's not much I can say negative, really. Have I found any negatives? No, all good. Yeah, it just looks shit, but don't be fooled by looks. So when you're buying a second-hand car, just remember, don't necessarily go on the way it looks. Just go on the way it feels and drives, and the way it's been maintained is the key. And this has been well maintained, even though it hasn't been well looked after. Two different things. So, I mean, she's hit the wall a few times. You can see from the outside and the scrapes. But she's always taken it to the garage and had it serviced, and she's always had the cam belt done. Even though it was way too prematurely. She's had about 5 cam belts in about God knows how many years. So it's been over-serviced, if anything. But that doesn't matter. You can over-service a car as much as you want, as long as it hasn't been badly under-serviced. Oil and filter, of course, is the main thing with any engine. You want to make sure you've got decent engine oil, and it's changed regularly, because that's the blood of your engine, and the coolant's got to be a good level. But yeah, it's just quite simple, really. People make it sound quite complicated, but it's not. It's very easy, very simple. And people think that newer cars are better. They're not. You're very badly mistaken if you think newer cars don't go wrong and newer cars are better. Many of my friends have made that mistake, buying a new car or a newer car because they didn't want to break down, and then ending up breaking down. Anything breaks down, to be fair. Sometimes you just get a bad one. So yeah, I think these are definitely good to buy. As I say, the 1.4s are known to be better than the 1.2s. But yeah, I think you should definitely give one a go. Yeah, and I hope this video's helped you. If you're thinking of buying one of these, I'm very impressed. So I can't say much more than that. They don't feel like a tiny little car. They feel like a decent sized car. They've got good road presence, and loads of space inside, unless your seats are broken. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe for more car content, and tell me what you want me to review next. And if you have an automatic car of any description, from shitbox to supercar, then if you want me to review it, pop in the comments, and I'll give your car a review. Peace.